but this is all online. And I'm trying to figure out ways to connect, because that's one of the things we said. We've been had breakout groups and said, all right, we started talking jibber jabbering, and then it kind of, we looped some stuff together, and basically it was all about connecting. And so that's what I wrote some stuff up, and each week I've been doing some just very rough notes about how I'm connecting in my classroom and trying to reflect on that, reporting and reflecting on that stuff. So yeah, empathy, right at the core. I think it's it's ultimately one of the most practical skills that you can help somebody develop, and especially in writing and reading. Oh my God, to do close reading, you have to be able to empathize with the writer somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, I would say as a country, we have no empathy going on right now. Everyone's just entrenched in their point of view and not even listening to each other. It's like, I don't have to agree with you to listen to you, right?
Yeah. How do we, it's like we're thrown into a situation where listening is absolutely paramount, but there's all kinds of stuff in the way of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what skills do you think we need in order to face the apocalypse?
We have to be able to read well enough to evaluate. And, that starts at the simplest level, like with summary. That's the first thing I start with is summary. Summary there's a great book I've got around here somewhere. It's called Micro Mastery. And Robert Twigger's the guy's name. And he says there are these entrance tricks, entrance tricks or entry tricks. Every discipline has an entry trick. And for cooking, if you've ever gone, or you ever know anybody who was a cook or wanted to be a cook, and they went for an interview, almost always they'll be asked to cook an egg, because if you have a set of skills that allows you to cook the egg efficiently and well, then you can pick up anything else. And for me, the thing with writing summaries is that if you can write summaries, that to me is the entrance trick. If you can do that and do it well, then, if that's the only thing you learn from my class, then I'm more than happy. And I think that's a survival skill, because to be able to summarize, there's a whole panoply of skills that you have to be able to do that. So there's that. Research, being able to research. Geez, is anything more obvious than that? That's an apocalypse skill for sure. And deciding whether the research that you get is worth it. Right now, people trying to figure out, should I go out? Should I go out into the world or not? Mm-hmm. I read some research the other day, and I thought, oh, this is really scary. But then when I had a second look at it, I realized, no, this is pre-print. This hasn't even been peer reviewed yet. And so I kind of was able to say, okay, I'm not going to freak out about this, although it was pretty freaky. But if I didn't know that, if I couldn't evaluate stuff like that, then yeah, I'd be quietly freaked.
Yeah. So that's all critical thinking skills, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, that's all basic stuff. Having mental models in your head, schema, pretty important, because most of our students don't have schema. To have a schema in your head doesn't mean that somebody's put it in there. It means that somebody has helped you understand it so that you can use it. Mm-hmm. And I remember there's a guy, a 6th grade teacher, who was doing his project-based learning. I can't remember his name right now, in Colorado. And all of his students were first generation immigrants. And he did a survey at the beginning of the year. He says, what's your address? And most of the students didn't know it because they moved around so much. What's your phone number? I don't know what you, they don't even know. I don't have a phone. What do you mean?
Right.
What's my phone number?
Right.
They're in 6th grade. So what he's talking about is they don't even have the schema for stuff like that. So what do you do in those instances? Well, you teach the schema, and you do it in light of a project. And their project was super cool. It was they were doing they were working in conjunction with the University of Colorado's atmospheric department, and they were putting up balloons, atmospheric balloons that went up you could see the curvature of the Earth. And they were writing blogs about it, and they were doing demonstrations. They were understanding the physics of it. Everything spun off of this project. It was project learning at its absolute best. Connecting, it's all about connecting.
It's about connecting.